Hi there again, this is Maurice Dwayne Smith with my show, which I call the Maurice D. Smith Show, where we have some up-and-coming actors, producers, and I'd like you guys to welcome the Honolulu Film Festival Silver Lay Award winners for an incredible movie, and that movie was
Diamond Confidential.
Diamond Confidential.
Diamond Confidential. Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you guys come from diverse backgrounds, and I found out that you were in fact cut out of your own movie.
Yes, I was. So I was doing, as the director, I wanted to try to put myself in the film, kind of a Alfred Hitchcock. So
You're Grame Finlayson, by the way.
Grame Finlayson, yes. And so I had to do I did a walk by. We were shooting at the motel location that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just did a walk by, and then the people who were really the main characters in the scene went by me. And so then when it came time to put the whole thing together, I come and see what my editor did a rough cut, and I'm like, well, what happened to me? He's like, it was just taking too long.
Cold-blooded.
It's like he cut me out of my own movie.
We needed a union walker.
Yeah.
But Gary Klavans.
Klavans, yeah.
Okay. Now you are in it. And in fact, you actually wrote this, right?
I did, yeah. I think he tried to actually CGI me into the film. But no, I did. I wrote the film about a year or so maybe before I got it into Graham's hands.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving up north, and I found a jazz radio station.
North, like Massachusetts?
Oh, no, north on La Brea. How many people know La Brea? So, and I found a jazz, right? I found a jazz radio station, and I was talking to a friend of mine in Connecticut, and I was telling her, hey, I found this jazz radio station, plays jazz all the time, and that's great. She asked me what kind of jazz you like, and I just kind of thought about it for a second, and I said, the kind of jazz where you're in a smoky bar, and there she is in the doorway, that dark-haired, dark-eyed beauty with a sultry smile.
Like John Coltrane type jazz, right?
Yeah, the kind that says come and go at the same time.
Now, about a year ago, I see that your film was chosen to open the LA Short Film Festival 2009 with such heavyweights as Scarlett Johansson and Courtney Cox.
Yeah, we were excited about that. So.
Was that when you met?
When we met?
Yeah.
No. We've known each other for years, though. We used to write together and act. We actually studied acting together. Those many years ago.
Yeah.
And so
we met when he had dark black hair.
Yes. Now it's a little salt and pepper.
Okay, when I actually had.
He actually had hair.
That's it. Okay, cool.
So, but he got me the script, and it just blew me away. It was, I love noir. It's my favorite genre. I love the old movies, Maltese Falcon, Double Indemnity,
Right.
Scarlet Street, Naked City. It just
Maltese Falcon.
Maltese was it then?
and so, but I loved what he did was he married kind of old with new. He took it takes place in present day, but he took characters that were very anachronistic. It's like the 40s never ended for them in speech, in manner, dress, etc. And even their locations. McDiamond's office.
And that's McDiamond.
This is McDiamond.
So the office is very 1940s visually. When you look at it, it's a lot of hardwood, old telephones, typewriters. But the furniture is American-made hardwood, solid. It's going to last forever. Furniture, the old desk chairs that creak when you sit in it, the leather desk chairs. But then if I got to make a phone call outside the office, I've got a cell phone. My cameras were all digital cameras. Our cars were all modern cars. So it was as Graham had said, as if the 40s never ended. It just, that time just kept going on and on and on. Time didn't stop, but the styles stayed the same.
And not only for Mick, his seductive secretary Samantha Dane, and the femme fatale Jasmine Ozarova that comes in, and the hard-boiled detective, Detective McCleary.
Everybody living in a gray line between right and wrong, their ethics.
Which is it's all very noir. I mean, noir to me is always just kind of bad people, doing bad things to each other.
So is it like murder, sex,
dirty people doing dirty things?
Yeah.
So very, it's that whole noir flavor. And when Gary, there's a great line that hooked me. That was, I take dirty pictures of dirty people, doing dirty things, and I was like, it's like I read something out of a Raymond Chandler novel or a Dashiell Hammett. I was like, I've got to do this.
I don't work like your average Joe. I'm a photographer. I take dirty pictures of dirty people doing dirty things.
So Gary and I honed the script and then shot it, and it's been really well received. I mean, we're so excited to go over to Hawaii. I mean, we leave in a couple of days.
And then you want it.
Yeah.
We're not just going to Hawaii.
Yeah. Well,
You're coming to get the fruits of the spoils of the chance.
We're very excited. I mean, we're very honored. I mean, it's such a prestigious award, and we're very honored that
That's cool.
the film's being recognized. I mean, it's always good to.
That's cool because I've got some friends from Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
and in fact, one of them has a sister that's a flight stewardess. She's always going back and forth, and she pulls her back over there, and she's back here right now. So I'm going to tell her about it.
You should, let her. We're doing a private screening over there.
The day after the festival itself, we're doing a private screening. Yeah.
And so it's invitation only. So if she's we'll get her information, and we'll.
I will do that.
Okay.
Why do they call it Silver Lei? That's L-E-I award. Is there any?
You know what? I just found this out. It's a jury award, meaning all the judges, the panels, and everything. It's a special award. Someone I was talking to today actually won it last year.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a jury award. All the judges from the film festival like the film, and it's a special award that they give for excellence in filmmaking, and it's Silver Lei because it's just
I guess the lei, like when you get off the plane, they put the flowers around your neck, the leis, and I guess that's why.
Cool. That's great. That's great. I'm glad you came on my show. We had some other award winners on the show, such as Ace Cruz, who won the International Film Festival Award with Outrage movie with Carl Madsen, I think his name is.
Michael Madsen.
Michael Madsen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michael.
It's okay.
And they're out now, sending out like across the planet. They're out in the Philippines now, and now you guys are here. And not that they all came here to see me; they want exposure.
We came
to see you, Maurice. We heard such great things about him. So
that's great. But let me tell you this: was it difficult to function as both director and producer?
On a couple of occasions, my other producing partner, Carrie Serta, she was working a couple other projects at the time. Being the most producers you're not producing unless you're doing 4 projects at the same time. So it didn't afford her a couple times to actually be on set, and so there were a couple instances I remember where it was like I had to take off like my baseball hat that said director on it and pick up my one that says producer and put that on and go deal with something. And that kind of took me, there's a couple of times that I remember that it took me out of dealing just as a director and, working with the actors and blocking and working with my cinematographer and wardrobe and makeup. And so it was a couple times, but nothing that really held me up. I mean, the problems were solved, very quickly. And then we were, back in business. So it was a really, really, really magical time.
Cool.
For the whole shoot.
It sounds like it was great, especially to win is always.
Oh, of course.
But how about this? Are you going to also send it out as a web series or strictly in the theaters?
Well, right now, Gary'd probably be better to answer that one.
It was written when I first started to think about it. I wanted to make sure that it was written so that we could really expand on all different venues. New media, actually, I'm really intrigued by it.
Yeah.
So as the short film itself, it can be cut into 5-minute increments so that we can start it as a web series and continue on. Obviously, we have a plan for an entire season through television, so that plan actually go all the way through by taking over the new media of web series as well. And Graham has an idea to turn it into a feature film, which is very intriguing. So the thing about the script, one of the things that's really enjoyable about it is very adaptable for all 3 media. Just depending on which one takes off first. For me, it's nice to have the 3 irons in the fire.
Yeah.
You know, there was Barry Levinson, who actually, before any of the web series was very popular, he really tackled this with his Homicide Life on the Street. He had Homicide Life on the Street on TV, and he also had background stories on the internet. And that was a big influence for me as I was trying to put this together, is being able to create Diamond Confidential that could be a TV series and a web series running consecutively with one another. So that if you don't own a TV, or if you like to know, there's background stories, smaller 5-minute pieces of information that tie in to be able to watch it on the web and watch it on TV. And so you don't have a life. You're living Diamond Confidential. I'm sorry, but call in late for work because you got to stay home and watch Diamond Confidential. DVR it, look for it.
But it's amazing. We were just at the second annual Streamies on Sunday, and we saw just some amazing things.
Brendan's Way.
Brendan's Way and Compulsions were very, very good. So I want to talk about those because I met the producers and writers of the shows, and they were really, really top notch, and I was really impressed.
I think I saw some of that on Yvette's fanbook page. And speaking of that, do you have a fan page on Facebook?
We do. Yes.
We well, Diamond Confidential, obviously on Facebook, and then there's Gary J. Klavans. That would be my fan page. Send me cards and letters.
With Bayberry Lane Entertainment.
Well, Bayberry Lane Entertainment has a page on MySpace, but Bayberry Lane Entertainment and Ghostlight Pictures are together under one banner, which is AKA G Squared, and the G Squared being Graham and Gary. That you'll find all our information. You'll get to see everything that we have in development, more information on Diamond Confidential, some of the other projects that we've done, like Nora Ephron Should Die, which is about... Hey, we love Nora Ephron. We love you. It's an homage to Nora Ephron.
Nora, if you're watching, we love you.
It's a 5-minute piece. It's probably the most important moment of a feature film, and Graham did a wonderful job taking it and putting it together to make a 5-minute short out of it. We have a Heinz spec commercial on there, but most importantly, what we have is a lot of the information for Diamond Confidential, a lot of information on a feature film that we're working on called Damaged, which is kind of in pre-production right now. And you'll get all the background about Graham, myself, the 2 companies, who we are, and what we have going for us now and in the future.
Well, give me like a little breakdown of Mick Diamond, and how is he similar or dissimilar from you as a person in reality?
Mick Diamond's luckier than I am because in the end he gets the girl. No, that's not true. I'll tell you, Mick Diamond drinks a lot.
Wait a minute.
He drinks a lot. I don't.
Well, just in Days that End in Walleye. So
I think that there's a little bit of Mick Diamond, I think, in almost all of us, and for me especially, having been a huge fan of Bogey's characters. When I was writing that, it was the...
He's one of your main influences.
Well, you know what? Yes and no. For Mick Diamond, he's one of my main influences because he's the reluctant hero. He even when he wins, he loses, and vice versa. He lives in that area of gray where he does what he does mostly for a quick buck or a hard bottle, looking for a drink or a way out. He's on hard times and he's comfortable there.
Is he always flipping the negative into the positive, or just dealing with the ass kicking?
You know what? It just happens, and he's a survivor more than he is an ass kicker. That's the difference between him and Bogey, so to speak, where Bogey can step up to the plate and probably knock you down. Mick is lucky. He winds up. He sees an opportunity. He sees an open door, and that's his way out. Always, he's always looking for that opportunity.
Would you say he's what they call the street a hustler?
He's got a background in being a hustler. His friends are hustlers, grifters. The seedier side, the people that he works with, the cops. They're the cops who will walk in that area of gray.
That kind of that fine line, that shadow world of what's right and what's wrong, and both sides will blur a little bit, but they'll never go all the way to the dark side, but then they'll never go like all the way into the light. So it's kind of like a lot of back and forth.
And the difference between him and I is I'm not a criminal.
So, okay, I have a couple of questions. First of all, is anything you would have done differently in making this film? Secondly, what were the obstacles you had to overcome? And thirdly, did you just have like an epiphany and just came up with the idea, other than just listening to the jazz, or was it little bits and pieces that came out that you guys came up with putting together the story?
Differently, I think he would have liked to have had a sixth day.
Seventh day.
Seventh day.
Yes. I would have loved some way to find a little bit more money in the budget to afford me a seventh day. I mean, we shot in 6 days, and it was never any crazy days, but you always want, that one more day. If I had one more day, then I could have done, this or something, and so that's about the only thing I probably would have changed.
But overall, having won it, you did it right, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I always think, there's a couple little nuances with Mick I would have liked to have added into. He's a lot more somber than I am. There's some of the same smart-ass responses. Can I say that?
Mm-hmm.
We have some of the
We can
same.
do anything on the internet.
There we go. We have some of the same
So far.
smart-ass responses, but I'm a little bit more playful than Mick, and I think that I would, over time as we develop the character, I would like to put a little bit more lightness and ease into him than we did in the first introduction, having an opportunity to go back. And there's a couple of other things that were written into the script that just we didn't get an opportunity to focus on, some of his background and where he comes from.
So let's say, given the success of your project and the fact that it's won, when you do get other chances to either put it on the web or the new media, or maybe bring it in as a show on TV, or do different shows and different movies, sequels, what would you do? How would you take the character?
I think we would expand everything a little bit more.
Absolutely.
And
being able to go further and further.
And maybe just because when I shot it, my plan was to really do it much like a film from the 40s. I mean, it had that look, the production value, and or the production design, and the wardrobe and the makeup and the hair. I mean, the hair and makeup people I had were fantastic, and really all the women had that 40s style. I mean, with dress and hair and makeup and everything. But I shot it all very, very static, and almost if the camera was just an observer in the room.
Is it kind of glossy, like a glossy look?
Not so much glossy. I mean, it had a very warm tones, but what I meant by just everything was pretty static. I didn't have a lot of camera moves. There were very, very few dolly moves, and the dolly moves that there were very small and subtle.
Okay.
And so I just kind of put the camera there, and then just it's almost if the camera was just observing. And I think that if we developed it more into a TV show or the film, I think I would like to try to do some of it that way, but others, maybe bring in a steady cam or more elaborate dolly shots and cranes and everything, just to bring because I feel that this whole project, like I said, what attracted me to it when Gary wrote it was combining the old with the new, old noir with new noir.
We created a whole new world.
And and marrying those two together.
What would you call your creation? It's not Frankenstein, is it?
No.
No. I wouldn't even go with fantasy. It's just because it's just something new. It's intriguing.
It's never been done before?
As far as I know, I don't think I've seen something where they've actually taken two eras like this and put them together, because we don't hide the fact that it's the 21st century.
Yeah.
You know who did this? Star Trek. A piece of the action. The original Star Trek series, right?
With Shatner.
Yeah. They had an episode where they landed on that planet where they had that book that was all 1930s gangsters.
I saw that a couple weeks ago.
And the society built their whole society around this book.
Right. And yet they still had phasers and that kind of technology.
Yeah, I saw that a couple weeks ago. Let me ask you this. What kind of background do you come from? Because I think you're both from the East Coast.
No, I'm actually from San Jose, California.
Really?
So I'm actually West Coast.
I'm from Boston, Framingham, Massachusetts.
And my Sharks lost last night, and so I'm not in a good mood. I'm kidding.
But I understand the Bruins were doing well, right?
The Bruins play tonight, so I'm a hockey fan. So, but I mean, my background is I started out. I mean, I always wrote.
Okay.
So, and I think Gary always wrote me. I wrote in high school and everything, and then in college. went through acting, got my degree in that, but with a radio, TV, film minor,
Okay.
studied in New York for a while, and then just when I came down to LA, did the acting thing, and then segued into production, and then I can't speak, from production just into directing. So that was kind of my.
Okay.
In a nutshell, I kind of came from a show business family. My father was in vaudeville. He played harmonica with the Harmonica Rascals, and he gave us that hammy kind of personality. My brothers are both musicians. One of them is a phenomenal songwriter. There's that word again. And the other one's
his favorite word.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
And it's the word of the week.
That's the word for the day.
My other brother is a drummer. Great presence. He's actually toured the country and has done some studio work.
What's your names? Because they're probably watching.
Oh, there you go. Buzz is the drummer, and Jerry is the guitarist and songwriter. And
They have anything coming up?
actually, no, but they are playing in a band now. Well, both of them have kind of reached a point where they wanted to settle down with family. So they've done their recording, they've done their touring. They're older than me. So now that they play in a band out in Florida called Generation E.
Okay.
And I don't know when their next gig is. Sorry, but I started working with them when they were musicians. Starting out when I was like 12 years old, and worked my way through the music. I always wanted to be a singer in a rock and roll band, but I can't carry a tune.
Just like the song.
And I know, right? And I never wanted to be a writer. My father used to encourage me on that. And the odd thing is my vision of what a writer was a guy who's sitting in a one-bedroom flat with a bare bulb hanging over his head, an old Royale typewriter, and a bottle of Jack Daniels next to him.
And
So I guess I always had that
and
noir
cigarettes.
image, in my head. But I studied acting in Boston at Emerson. But prior to that, I also went to culinary school. I graduated from culinary school. So
Cool. That's,
not only can I act and write, but I can cook.
that's an amazing.
He's a triple threat.
Can't sing or dance, but I can cook.
That is cool, man. I'm so happy you guys came here today. And I just want to ask you something else. You mentioned some other projects that are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you looked at? Is there something that's on the tip of your head that you're thinking about, or
XYZ.
as far as
You want to talk about those
projects?
We just have a couple of shorts.
Pet projects?
Yeah, so
You wanna bring them up?
you could probably tell it better.
Well, it's we have these 3 pet projects. It's XYZ. What are the other 2 titles?
Late Again.
Late Again.
And Girlfriend
And
Wanted.
Girlfriend Wanted. And we actually were developing them independently. And as we were working on them, we started to realize that their locations at one point or another kind of all cross and mesh. So we realized what a great idea it would be to shoot the whole thing at once, bringing from one short into the other, from that short into this, so you could put them together and it'd be one 15-minute short film, and separate them and it'd be 3 5-minute short films. And there's a European film, Red, White, and Blue, that kind of overlaps one another like that, which gave me the first idea, the impetus to put this together like that. And it's like a pet project. It's something that we want to do, and it's I don't want to tell more about it because I don't want to give the stories away. So I'm trying to skirt around those issues. That's where my struggle is. I hate giving the stories away. The more you talk about a story, the more it goes out there, and the less you get done.
But it's interesting. So we're trying to put all that together and develop that. But the other ones, like Gary mentioned, was a feature film, Damaged, that we're in pre-production on, which is a dark. It's a departure from the Diamond Confidential noir style. It's a very dark, urban, raw, gritty drama.
It's kind of a story of hopelessness and despair in Skid Row. And the main character that brings us into this story is a guy whose life is reached complete and absolute desperation or hopelessness. I am using those words twice on the anniversary of his wife's death. And he feels responsible for what had happened, so he plans on joining her. And yes, exactly. So what happens is he winds up at the same place where her murder had taken place, and starts to meet and interact with the homeless and the prostitutes, and the drug
ravers,
addicts,
the rave kids.
there's rave kids who come in. There's a lot of mixed interactive stories that plug and play into this. And it's all surrounded also by a serial killer who's killing the prostitutes. And a cop who's investigating it, and they all mesh in this one evening.
Now, is this a short or a full?
No, it's a full feature.
Full feature, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds cool. It's kind of things I like to read or look at. You know.
It's very, but it's a comedy.
Yeah.
No.
It's a Russian comedy.
It's a Russian comedy, just like, you know. Chekhov always said he wrote comedies.
Yeah. I have a crazy question. Are you working on any animes or?
That's a crazy question. I'm not answering that question.
You said, I thought there would be no questions about animes.
Right, they said that's in our contract. No anime questions.
That's
it. I can't work like this. I can't draw. Can you?
No. I draw in my mind, and
you know what?
I wish.
I'll tell
I
you
would
what.
love to be able to do something like that.
Don Scaltrito, if you're watching this is a question for you. When I was back at maybe my freshman year of college, I did a comic strip called All Together Now. And Don Scaltrito, if you're there, she did the artwork for it. Really, really fine artist. And I mean, if you want to back an anime, sure, put the money up. I'll fly her out here and we'll make one for you.
All right, you never know. I know a lot of people. But I'm just so very happy you guys came today.
Nice to meet you, Mark.
Grace, nice meeting you. Thank you so
Everyone
much.
likes a winner or loves a winner.
Yes.
And here you guys are, Winning Klavans, also Grame Finlayson, and you guys are with Diamond Productions, right?
No,
Diamond
Confidential.
Ghostlight Pictures.
Ghostlight Pictures, Baby Alien Entertainment. Film is Diamond Confidential.
And
Look
winners
us up
of
at
the Honolulu,
akagsquared.com.
and they're winners of the Honolulu Film Festival 2010 Silver Lay Award, and they're going to be out there on April 24th through April 25th, right?
Yes.
Out in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Yes.
Diamond Confidential.
I should have known something bad was going to happen when I woke up feeling good. I don't work like your average Joe. I'm a photographer. I take dirty pictures of dirty people doing dirty things.
I was worried about you.
Why so late?
Anybody ever tell you ask too many questions?
Just you.
Accept my offer. You'll be able to buy 1 dozen girls, 1 dozen drinks.
That's 144 drinks. What would I do with 12 drunk girls?